Welcome back to the Greatest Attorney Chronicles. When we last left off, things were getting pretty dicey, I think. Getting some really suspicious vibes from certain people about certain things that have occurred. That occurred or may not have occurred while we were on our little emergency intermission. A bloodstain that wasn't there before, some equipment that used to be there that is no longer there, and it handily coincides with a story that our client is putting out there. So we gotta kind of balance keeping the truth going with keeping the trial going and not getting our client ruled guilty. We got some weird vibes, but not enough to really suspect anything untoward, I suppose. Anyway, we're just the way things wound up going. We're now accusing these two lads of having something to do with things. We're the only two people off that roof deck, dead or alive. I can swear to that. If anything had happened where we were sitting, don't you think one or the other would have noticed? In any case, neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man. Oh god, not this again. The skylight was shut the entire time, I tell you. We couldn't possibly have opened it. If you're so sure that the victim fell through the skylight, where's your proof? I must say that on listening to this testimony, it's somewhat hard to imagine how either witness could have performed any malevolent act on this open rooftop deck without the other noticing forthwith. That's right, you see. We're innocent, I tell you. Stop that. Logically, of course, the argument falls down if the two of you were in collusion with one another. Well said, what? According to investigations by Scotland Yard, the two witnesses share no common dealings. Ha! Well, I don't trust coppers any more than I trust the stinking rich. Something doesn't feel right here. There's a lot of that going around. The trial is going in our favor, really. So why do I feel so uneasy? Counsel for the defense, over to you. Your cross-examination, please. Oh, yes, my lord. Let's see where the hell this goes. Hold it! So at no time did the victim, Mr. Mason, climb up to join you on the roof deck? Absolutely not. Dickin. Hi, Gina. Hello, you. No question about it, he said. None at all. Oh, but yes, of course. I remember seeing them both. I saw the victim inside the closed cabin, talking with this man here. Is this true, Mr. McGilded? Dear me, my lord. At the risk of repeating myself, I boarded the omnibus alone and nodded off inside almost immediately. That's an outright lie. Without doubt you were engaged in. Let me stop you there, fella, and ask, do you have any evidence at all? At all? Ah. It is all about evidence in the courts these days, so it is. You do well to remember that. I saw you with my own eyes. Stop that, fair play. This is going so well. Your first try. Hold it! Well, it was on the final run of the omnibus at past 10 o'clock in the evening. It would certainly have been quite dark. Perhaps too dark to see clearly. Is this some kind of a lark? Is this some kind of a joke, he said? Is that what this is? Or perhaps one or the other of you fell asleep briefly? Are you fair dinkum, sir? Are you serious, sir? That's what he said. It was impossible, I tell you. I'd give you the keys to the vault if you could fall asleep in that bitter cold. If you did manage it, your eyelids would freeze shut and you would never open them again. That's extreme. It was extreme, I tell you. We had to put up with it. We had to put up with it because this man had locked the door. Any true gent would have unlocked it and let me in when I knocked. I'm dreadfully sorry about that, young fella. But you see, I was away with the fairies and I didn't hear you at all. That's a lie. I saw you through the glass. You were talking to someone. Now, it was a cold night, so it was. People do be seeing things that aren't real in the cold. It's hardly surprising. Seeing things? Seeing things? Well, this is certainly a something. I believe we have reached an impasse here on this particular point. Ah, you! Don't take it personally now, lad. If I'm a suspect in this case, then 'tis only fair that you and the other fiend are too. Open and free competition is what capitalist society is all about. This isn't a competition I should like to be involved in, really. Fair.
Hold it!
So you had never met Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason before? Oh, Lumen, no. Not once. Never. He'd never met the man before, he said. Never. Oh, will you stop? And you, Mr. First, had no prior dealings with the victim either. That's right, sir. Hatters don't have much to do with brickmakers, to be perfectly honest, sir. No, I imagine not. You see? How many different ways can I put this? Neither of us have the remotest connection to the gentlemen who were inside the cabin. Well, what do you have to say?
Excuse me.
Mr. McGilded? Yes, counsel? What can I be doing you for? What does this last statement give you pause for thought somehow? Not the remotest connection. Is that right now? I wonder. What are you insinuating now? Mr. Fairplay. It has been too long, it has. If I'm not very much mistaken, I believe 'tis fast approaching, is it not? Your repayment date. I beg your pardon. You borrowed 20 guineas from me, sir. It's an unconscionable rate of interest. You tricked me. It's extortion. Well now, is that a touch of begrudgery, is it? The sort of begrudgery that might motivate a fella to pass his crimes off on another. You walked right into that one. As shady as that might be. And young Mr. First. Me, sir? What do you want with me, sir? You do be making hats for a living, do you not? That there top hat sliding about on your head. Is that one of your own creations, is it? Oh, well, I'm still just an apprentice, you understand? Trying to find the perfect fit for whatever fine gent walks through the door. The perfect fit, is it? What is a very distinctive design, so it is. Many customers like it, I tell you. They like a distinctive touch. Stop with the fucking lawnmower, dude. Customers, such as Thrice-Fired Mason. I'm just very curious about something. Well, he does have a very distinctive hat. There was a photographic print of the victim submitted as evidence before, my lord. This, you mean? I can't help thinking that the poor fella's hat looks distinctly familiar, wouldn't you say? That's one of my hats. Aye, that it is. So it would seem the brickmaker was a customer of yours. Huh? Sort of customer I'd wager you could have had a wee quarrel with over the distinctiveness of the goods. Oh, no, sir. Absolutely not, sir. Well, there's really nothing more to add. It wouldn't be right to say that the two fellas here haven't the remotest connection to the victim, you see. I rest my case. You little weasel. Ugh. He's better at this than I am. Gosh, Mr. McGilda has certainly been thorough in his research, hasn't he? Quite. Please, don't let me little interruption hold up the proceedings. Hat Hunter? He's got an achievement for that. Was this optional, I wonder?
Hold it!
Are you quite certain about that? That the skylight was shut the entire time? I'm going to lose my block with you in a minute. He's gonna lose his rag with you in a minute. That's what he said. Oh, shut up. Take a look for yourself. Go on. You see? It's shut fast now, just like it was in that night. So it is. Of course. A fellow the size of Mr. Mason could likely break right through it. Still at all. What? Just looking at the size of the thing, you'd understand. Now you hold on there a minute, sir. The size of the thing means nothing. On its own. Let's consider the bigger picture here, shall we? Let's stop biting our cane, shall we? I was riding the omnibus on another occasion when, I broke wind. Loudly. I shocked myself with it as it happens. This is an unexpected confession, Mr. First? Yeah. It certainly is. Oh, I just mean to say. Well, the point is, I tried to open the skylight, you see? But, just my luck. I couldn't make it budge. The stench was terrible. Everyone was looking daggers at me, sir. I went as red as I was red as rogue, I did. Are you expecting me to sentence you? Oh, no, sir. The point is, the skylight can't be opened. I tried and tried when I was inside that cabin. A shame. Oh, Gina? What do you have to say?
Excuse me.
Do you have something to say about that, Miss Lestrade? Gina? What you thinking about, Miss Lestrade? It opens. The skylight. That is what we're talking about, right? All them skylights open, dead easy. More easily than you can load that weapon? It's a lie, I tell you. Otherwise, when I broke wind, I shut up about you breaking wind, dude. You can't do it from inside, you mug. Oh. Look, a few weeks ago, I was up on the roof deck of one of them drags. I had a great haul. I mean, I had purses coming out my ears. Mr. Lestrade, this is not the forum to be eulogizing on the subject of your criminal activities. Well, anyway, I had a bit of a scare. When I looked at the last bloke's purse, he got wise to me. All four of them surrounded me, so I couldn't hop off the bus and leg it. So what I did was I used the skylight, opened the catch and jumped right through. What? Yeah, the catch for them skylights is up on the top side. That's why you can't open them from the cabin. The skylight opens from the roof deck. Bailiff. Jump onto the roof of the omnibus at once and verify this witness's claims. That's what I was trying to figure out on my own, but wouldn't let me do it. Oh. Oh, my hat. See? Order, order, order. So it appears that this street girl's statement is quite true. I don't believe it. The skylight opens. From the roof deck? Mr. Naruhodo! clue we've been looking for. Well, counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. So the skylight opens. Perhaps I should investigate for myself. Where's your proof? Okay. That's the point where we need to investigate now. Proof. That's right, I demand to hear it. We came here to say what we saw, I tell you. Not for this. You call us both shysters. Brand us as criminals. You call us liars, that's what he means, and accuse us of doing it. As it stands at the moment. There's no hard evidence that incriminates yourselves, now is there? I believe we're in much the same position as one another here. Ah! If I don't crack this case soon, he'll crack his teeth. I wonder if those two men really were involved in some way. I couldn't say. I mean, I don't really know anything about them, do I? Though by the same token, I don't really know anything about Mr. McGilded either. It's so hard to know what to believe here. I think you should try to remember that it's evidence alone that can truly determine the outcome of a trial. Evidence. No one can argue against decisive evidence, including the members of the jury. So you're saying that what we need now is to find a conclusive piece of evidence? Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Precisely. Piece of evidence, here we come. Stop it. E. Let's go up on the roof, get my gamer keys on. Let's open this thing. So the skylight was fastened shut before. Now the catch has been undone. We should be able to open it. Oh, hello. This is the roof deck of the... Oh, I mean it. I'm going to do that. Certainly see inside the carrot this opening, that's for sure. Lamp. Can I go inside? How do I target that blood? It's gotta be like this, huh? Yes, it does open very wide, doesn't it? Wide enough to kick someone like you through, certainly, Mr. Naruhodo. Why someone like me? Ah! Oh, but what is it? Look, just here. Look at this. That's, without question, it's blood. Why would there be a blood stain there? Surely, it can't be unrelated to the case, can it? That's gotta be what we need.
Objection!
To show here. The night in question, the victim was fatally stabbed in the stomach. Immediately afterwards, the victim's body was pushed through the skylight into the cabin below. Those are the facts, and the irrefutable proof. Remains clearly visible in the omnibus that stands before us today in this very courtroom. What? That's utter humbug. Oh, you can't possibly have any evidence. No, you can't. I mean, we didn't do it, I tell you. It's impossible. Irrefutable proof, here in this courtroom. Counsel? My lord. I believe everyone would appreciate a little clarification here, Where exactly within the omnibus is the evidence to which you allude? Oh, really? Alright. We'll point out what it is that proves the victim fell from the roof deck through the skylight. Gamer keys? Oops, wrong gamer keys. Oh shit, wrong button. Immediately presented. I wonder if this means we could have presented the omnibus without updating the court record. Is that the same statement that is this? We can just do this. By Jupiter! Is that blood? Ah! This bloodstain proves two things. Firstly, when the incident occurred, the skylight of the omnibus was open. What? And secondly, the victim was already bleeding when he fell through the opening. Oh my! And so it follows. Mr. Gilded, who was inside the enclosed cabin himself at the time, cannot possibly be guilty of this crime. No! Just don't start lawnmower. Don't start doing the lawnmower again first. Order. Oh, hello. But. The blood could have sprayed up there when the fellow was stabbed inside the cabin. It only found its way to that one particular spot on the skylight. Sure, and that would be very convenient. And let's keep it in mind that the skylight can catch can only be unfastened from the roof deck. I myself wouldn't have been able to open it now, would I? He's well aware of this. I'm just saying, that's real... There's no way to know for certain, is there? The jet really went through the skylight, I mean. Why don't you have a good look at the floor of the cabin between the two seats, Mr. First? Convenient that that's the evidence that showed up. It's all too plain, if you see. There's the aftermath that shows the poor fellow dropped from a fair height right here. So it is. What? No. But it can't be. It's all lies. My fellow jury members, I think we can all agree that this is clear proof of the defendant's innocence, can't we? I believe we can. Yes, sir. It's clear to me now where the filthy rubbish can finally be found in this courtroom. So, they thought they could pull the wool over my eyes, did they? Good, moving on. Oh, I won't tolerate any of the guild's carriages being soiled with blood. I won't tolerate it. Oh, I always knew that nice gentleman who gave us that delightful park couldn't have done such a thing. On three then, everyone. 1, 2... Objection? 3.
Objection!
Ah, I knew it was coming. A chilling performance, Mr. McGilded. Oh, what would you be referring to there now, Lord Van Zieks? A bloodstain on the frame of the skylight. Such evidence is null and void. What? Why? For one extremely simple reason. That smear of blood never existed. Alright, here we go. What are you talking about? It's there for all to see, and it's clearly blood.
Objection!
I personally attended Scotland Yard's investigation of the omnibus. The officers involved went over the carriage with a fine-toothed comb. So I can state with absolute surety. No such smear of blood existed in the carriage. At least, not until this trial began. But... are you suggesting, Lord Van Zieks, that this stain of blood was... fabricated, my lord? Yes, and while this court has been in session. What?! what a palaver. I must say I didn't expect such crude reasoning from a prosecutor of your standard, Lord Van Zinks. But I'm Magnus McGilded, a fellow known all over the capital for his fine contributions to public life. I don't take kindly to slander, and I'll fight it to the bitter end. Even if it's rolling off the tongue of the Reaper of the Bailey. Mr. McGilded, I realize that this is your first appearance in court as the accused. However, I am well aware of your involvement behind the scenes in a great many affairs of dubious nature. Uh-oh. You're very adept when it comes to avoiding getting your own hands dirty. And each time it happens that a case you're involved in is investigated, you adapt the facts. Adapt the facts? What does that even mean? When you wield a fortune the size of Mr. McGilded's, however ill-gotten it may be, nothing is impossible. Tampering with evidence, manipulating the scene of a crime, bribing witnesses. I toast your ability to concoct the most convenient of stories, sir. Tut-tut, Lord Van Zinks. This will not do, to be sure. Will it now, counsel? Oh, no. I think it's fair to say, this does all sound like a rather far-fetched excuse by a desperate man. Blood on the skylight didn't exist, you say? But, if you will all cast your minds back, it's not true that the omnibus there has been in the courtroom the entire time. Could anyone possibly have put a smear of blood in it without the world and his wife seeing? Isn't that right now, counsel? It's true. Okay, the thing that's starting to baffle me about this is that we got a bit of suspicion about the moved equipment, and then we just kind of fell back into this, and now we seem to be clueless and not suspicious whatsoever. The omnibus has been in full view the entire time that court has been in session. We're just quite forgetting about something that came up literally right after the emergency intermission. My learned friend. Here's to hearing your opinion on this matter, in your own words. As you wish. Could someone have tampered with the omnibus during this trial? If you're asking me, I think... I'm going to go with the option that, of course... I think we should be feeling. Could have been possible. So you notice that strange things started to happen. Strange things seem to have happened to the omnibus after that intermission. As a defense lawyer, it's my job to advocate for the defendant as best I can. But still, it feels though that there's something even more important at stake here. There is no evidence to suggest that the defendant did as my learned friend suggests. However, in terms of having the opportunity to carry out the alleged tampering, there is one possibility. Oh! Good gracious! Explain yourself, counsel. Yes, there is. It seems my learned Nipponese friend has no intention of running from this deceit. Deceit? I'm sure everyone still remembers clearly. The recess that we were forced to take. As a result of the smoke grenade fired by the witness, currently on the stand, Miss Gina Lestrade. What is going on? Be careful, Mr. Naruhodo. Cover your face. Bailiff, don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus. We tried. I hereby call an emergency recess. Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom. The courtroom was filled with smoke. Everyone was thrown into confusion. All of us were made to leave this chamber. In that brief interval, under the veil of smoke and in all the chaos, it could have been possible to steal inside the omnibus. Are you wide? What are you trying to pull, you rotten, feckless gouger? Feckless? Gouger? You're supposed to be defending me. It's a wicked plot. It's a plot to undermine me, so it is.
Objection!
Whatever you think this is, it changes nothing. The facts are the same. After this courtroom was evacuated earlier as a result of the smoke grenade, a number of inconsistencies materialized in relation to the omnibus. Inconsistencies such as, to start with, the storage compartment beneath the rear passenger seat. When the police investigated the omnibus, this compartment was full of the driver's items. Secondly, we have the smear of blood on the edge of the skyline. As I have said, that was not present at the start of the trial this morning. Unfortunately, Lord Van Zeeks, no one is able to corroborate your claims. It's true. When the omnibus was first wheeled out, both the storage compartment and the skylight were both shut. Accordingly, I'm afraid to say, we cannot establish with any certainty this evidence is the result of tampering or not. Indeed, my lord, no doubt there was not a single person who saw fit to verify such things. What do you think? Sorry? About the omnibus? Is there anything else unusual about the omnibus? I have an inkling. My lord. Yes, counsel? There is one further inconsistency. A mark that surely could not have been present at the start of the trial. What? What the devil's name are you going to say now? If you dare to betray me, little maggot, you better start watching your back.
Objection!
Silence, begilded. Court awaits the defense's clarification. The trial keeps swinging one way and then the other. I have no idea what's the truth and what's deception. Am I supposed to believe here? I shall have to ask you to elaborate, counsel. Where exactly is this alleged mark that you claim appeared at some point during the trial? Gamer keys? Gamer keys? It's this, right?
Got it!
If you consider that the victim fell through the skylight onto the floor of the cabin, you would certainly expect to find signs of blood where he landed. As far as I recall, this bloodstain on the cabin floor was not there when the omnibus was first brought into the courtroom. Good lord! Yes, I do believe you're correct, counsel. Well said. Although, as advocate for the defense, one might say that was a very careless slip of the tongue. I believe that bloodstain on the floor is a decisive piece of evidence. But if the question is whether that evidence is genuine, whether it was unlawfully fabricated by someone, I feel compelled to admit that there's at least a possibility that the evidence is fake. Baroque von Zeeks will remember this. Relationship improved. Magnus McGillard will remember this. Relationship decreased. This trial is over. Mr. McGilded, I've done everything I possibly can to cooperate with the court, but it's all over now. What? But you're the defendant. It's over, I tell you. Huh? Memory, recollection, what people think they saw. It's all a nonsense. Facts are what counts. And the fact is that bloodstain is there. Now. Well... over the course of this desperate trial, long and extremely drawn out as it has been, the good-for-nothing Reaper of the Bailey has failed to present any decisive evidence at all. I'm scandalized, so I am. I thought better of Lord Van Zeeks. Well, my lord? I must concur with the defendant. The unaffirmed recollections of an individual cannot stand as evidence. At this moment in time, the particular bloodstain in question is very much in existence, and in the absence of any credible method by which to prove its alleged previous non-existence, I've got to say that it would be improper for this trial to continue. Your lordship can't be serious. Lord Van Zeeks, what is your position? Prosecution, my lord, has no further witnesses or evidence to present. Very well. In that case, as I believe we have explored every possible avenue in this matter, I shall proceed to my adjudication. As a formality, I am of course obliged to confirm with the defense first. What formality? Things stand at the moment. It would seem Mr. McGill will be found not guilty. Yes. Which would mean we've won. Is that really the right outcome here? Is it really alright for the trial to come to an end now, with all these unexplained inconsistencies? Counsel for the defense, your closing statement, please. Yes, my lord. The defense believes... Moral choice time. Bannon could be guilty. I'm here in this courtroom today to advocate for the defense of my client, Mr. McGill did. However, at this moment in time, I cannot in all good conscience attest fully to the defendant's innocence. What are you saying, man? Without any question, there is no conclusive evidence to prove that the defendant is guilty. However, there's also no conclusive evidence to prove that he is innocent. Good gracious me! Ooh. Pushing the buttons now. Order! Order! This is unprecedented behavior, counsel. Defense lawyer, calling the accused innocence into question. Are you of sound mind? Oh, it was a grand decision to appoint you as my lawyer, so it was. A grand decision. What? I must say, I didn't expect quite such an exciting spectacle at the end there, but still. Here, have this for your troubles. Ah! Your job here is done, fella. And some fine work you've done, so you have. What do you mean? Tis just as the right honorable gentleman succinctly put it before. The trial can't go on anymore. And your closing statement there was, how did you put it now? Nothing more than a formality. So what we said didn't even matter, in the end. Even if we believed he's not guilty. Even if we believed he's guilty. Oh, I really don't know what to make of all this. Was the evidence we've seen genuine, or was it fake? His lordship would be fuming, and the unsightly rubbish should be disposed of promptly, as I said. A stinking ritual is guilty of something. You... mark my words. I feel terribly ashamed that I ever doubted that lovely man who gave us the lovely park. Yes, you already said that, ma'am. You're a sweet old lady, but come on. Now that proceedings have unfolded in this way, I'm compelled to declare a premature end to this trial. Furthermore, the court must accept the defendant's plea. I thank you kindly, my lord. I hereby grant the verdict of this court. Oh boy.
Objection!
But we still haven't determined if the bloodstain in the omnibus is genuine or not. I don't know if these witnesses are telling the truth or a pack of lies. We have no idea about the truth. Lord Van Zieks. My lord. The case made by the prosecution was flawed, plain and simple. If indeed the omnibus presented as evidence was tampered with, the prosecution is at fault for allowing such a disgraceful perversion of justice to take place. My sincerest apologies, my lord.
Objection!
But, wait! When we were evacuated from the courtroom, Lord Van Zieks ordered the evidence to be secured. I'm afraid the prosecution cannot shun responsibility in this matter. That's so unfair! The culpability of the defendant has not, at the present time, been established by this court. Consequently, this jury will not be required to proffer judgment. What? Well, Lord Van Zieks, it's been a pleasure, so it has. And as for you, my dear fella, I couldn't have asked for a better defense. You mean to tell me this has all been a grand waste of time? 'Tis the law of the land, my good man. If you'd like to pursue this matter further, you can always go ahead and try to change the law. Magnus Begilded. Good grief, you've more to say to me, have you? Just one thing. A warning. This is far from over. Well, something to be looking forward to, then. I hereby pronounce the defendant, Mr. Magnus Begilded. Huh. There's no celebration in the crowd. We get the mandatory fireworks. But no one feels like cheering. Can't believe it. This is an outrage. They should have examined the evidence more. What are you talking about? The man's been cleared. He's innocent. The courtroom in pandemonium for the second time that day. The judge delivered his verdict. My first ever trial in Great Britain came to an abrupt end. With the defendant being found not guilty, ostensibly a victory for us. Where do we go from here? That certainly was a long trial. Yes, it was. Your first ever trial on foreign soil and your first victory. It was a wonderful performance. My heartfelt congratulations. And to you, Mrs. Sato. Thank you for your assistance. I suppose we should be happy. The trouble is, we're still completely in the dark about what actually happened. Well, we didn't have enough time. But isn't it wrong? I mean, who was actually responsible for Mr. Mason's death? We don't even know that. The sole aim of the defense is to obtain a verdict It exonerates the defendant. You carried out your duty to perfection. Aye, that you did. Hi, Gina. Mr. McGilded. Ah, and that girl's with him, too. Well, it seems the stories are true. Oh? What stories? About the 6 enormous fireworks they do be letting off when there's a verdict of not guilty. I'm sure you must have seen them now. Spectacular, wouldn't you say? Yes, definitely. I'd heard it was a sight to behold, and to be sure it was. And I have you to thank, I suppose, for having an opportunity to see it. Oh, I don't know about that. I'm not sure I really did anything. What are they saying, fella? How did I walk out of there free as a free man, then? I don't think it was so much thanks to me as down to your planning. Should we really be calling him out on this, alone? You're a straight-talking fella, aren't you? I must say, you had me astray in the head once or twice. But you're young and headstrong. Nah, 'tis water under the bridge. Congratulations, Mr. McGilded, on having your name cleared. Nothing's resolved. There's only one thing that matters to me. Oh? Aye. Money. They've all seen that I didn't do that odious and absolute deed. 'Tis grand, is it not? I suppose it is. Now the fine fellas of Scotland Yard can take matters in hand and sort out any wee details. They'll see it for what it is. They'll get to the truth. I've absolute faith in them, so I have. After all, I do be providing a good number of their wages with all the taxes I pay. Oh no. It's not that funny. So then, as we agreed aforehand, 1,000 guineas for your troubles, fella. Oh, no, I couldn't possibly accept that much. Be wrist. You're humble people, are you from the East? Well, if you insist. But have this, still in all. You deserve a reward. Mr. Magnus McGilded. Everything is ready, sir. If you'd like to follow me into the courtroom. Into the courtroom? What's this, officer? 'Tis sooner than I was led to believe. I hope it's not inconvenient, sir. There were some changes to the schedule. Well, I must be making tracks now. It's time for the inspection. Sorry? What inspection? They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. Asked if I could be present for it myself. You're going to examine it again? Now? Naturally, I'm under no obligation to take part in any more of this matter now. As an upstanding member of London society, I do be doing my best to help where we can. It's a gentleman's duty, so it is. So then, fare thee well. 'Twas an absolute pleasure meeting yous. I hope you have a whale of a time while you're studying here in Great Britain. And there he goes, a free man. Better or for worse. Hi, Gina. Oh, I forgot she was here too. Oh no, don't do it. Don't move. Or as I want to say, get a move on. She really does take forever to load that thing. Miss Lestrade, would you mind putting that thing down? I'll take that as a yes then. You're a grown-up. Sorry? I hate all grown-ups. I'm, like... I guess I'm grown up. Well, Susato's 16. How does that make me? You're older than Susato! I'm guessing I'm in my 18s. Maybe 18, 19? I don't... Ah, there you are! What? Naughty, naughty, running off like that. Is this some kind of picnic? Who's this little girl now? And taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to the trial run of my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Huh. What? Oh, do you want to play? You won't beat me. Excuse me, but who are you? Oh, good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine. The inventor? Well, normal smoke grenades are so dull, don't you agree? White, white, and more white. If you have to be shrouded in smoke, it could at least be a pretty color, I thought to myself. Do we have to be shrouded in smoke, though? At all? I just took my eyes off it for a moment whilst I was changing onto a different omnibus, and she pinched it. Luckily, I fitted it with a telegraphic beacon. What's it now? I have no idea what this girl is talking about. Anyway, you're coming with me now. Back to my laboratory. Oh no. What? What for? To apologize, of course, silly. To my technician. What? You mean, say sorry? You must say sorry when you've done something wrong. Surely an adult has told you that before. An adult? I don't listen to no adults. Get my heart-shaped bazooka out then. Come along then, follow me. Fine, have it your way. Oh good, you see I knew you'd want to do the right thing in the end. I'm fairly sure that what she wants is to not get shot by that massive gun of yours. Oh. We'll be leaving now then. Bye-bye. I'm so sorry for all the fuss. She was a lively one. I know who that is. I'm not going to introduce her until we're properly introduced. Well, do you think perhaps we ought to be on our way now, too? Yes, you're right. But where to? Oh, we haven't had time to find a place to stay. No sooner had we arrived in London than we had to rush here. All our traveling cases are still with the bailiff. I was originally planning to spend today in search of lodgings. This late hour in the day, I'm afraid we may be out of luck. Don't worry though, I have a plan. If worst comes to worst, I've heard of a lovely park where we could spend the night. The Gilded Park. Please tell me you're not thinking of the Gilded Park. I know it may be a little chilly at this time of year, but our youthfulness will see us through. I'm not so sure about that. I think a midwinter London night will freeze a young person solid just as easily as an elderly one. Oh dear, doesn't sound agreeable. Oh, eyes watering. Now I'm starting to regret turning Mr. Gilded down. 1,000 guineas would have paid for a lovely warm room. Mansion. Yeah, really. And so, the trial that determined my worthiness for the study tour was over by the end of our first day in London. However, as we were soon to learn, there were more trying times ahead. Just as the Reaper of the Bailey had warned. The case was far from over.
What's going on? Get the fire brigade! Water! Bring water, quick! What the... How did this happen?
I don't know, sir. By the time I got here, it was already engulfed.
No one was supposed to be allowed in here before we started investigating. No. Oh, good God. There's someone in there.
Judge.
Oh. This can't be.
We'll find out more about that incident further down the line. Oh, we're at the very bottom. Why not? We'll save here. Venture the Clouded Kokoro. We'll begin that next time, shall we? Until then, thanks for watching.